up, PokeMoshPitBeta? I am 6ftHax, and I bring my first upload to this channel. And first off, I would like to apologize if I stutter a bit or mispronounce some words. English is not my first language. But anyways, this battle was against plonkerboy900, and if you guys enjoy this battle, my link will be down in the description, so please come check me out and also check out my opponent. But yeah, anyways, let's get right into the battle, and I'm going to lead off with my Uxie, as he's going to lead off with his Pidgeot. And this is not your usual Trick Scarf Uxie. This is actually a dual screen Uxie. And here, I'm thinking that maybe his Pidgeot is Scarf, because I have enough speed EVs to where I can outspeed base 90 Pokemon. But yeah, he's going to U-turn out into a Seaking, as I'm going to go for the Reflect. And now, since I do know Seaking will possibly be a special attacker, I'm going to go for my Light Screen. And he does turn out to be, as he goes for the Signal Beam. And luckily, I do take that like a monster, even though it is 2 times super effective. But unfortunately, he will get the Confusion, which means I'm going to have to switch out, not wanting to risk hitting myself in Confusion. And I know you're asking yourself, 6foot, why do you have a Wigglytuff? Well, Wigglytuff, for one, it's a special wall of my team, and for two, as you can see, it's got 484 HP, which means if I can get a Wish Off to any of my Pokemon, that means they get 242 HP back. And since I don't really have any liable form of recovery or in any other of my Pokemon, that seriously ends up coming in handy. And here is a perfect example as I go into my Uxie, hoping and praying I can live the Facade, and luckily I do get those 242 HP, bringing me up to around 90 HP, I want to say. So now I'm going to stay in and go for the U-turn, and if he does want to switch out, I will be able to get switch advantage, or if he wants to stay in, I will be able to get residual damage on the Eradicate with the burn damage. So yeah, I'm going to switch out into my Pincrow, knowing I can easily outspeed Seaking as long as he's not Scarfed, and since I did see Life Orb, obviously he's not Scarfed. But yeah, I will easily rape Seaking with a Stab, Life Orb, Brave Bird, which means I get the 6-5 lead, and I am at +1. And here, I completely forgot that Eradicate learned Sucker Punch, and I went for my own Sucker Punch, which nullifies mine since his did go first. And he ends up getting the crit above all that, and since I do know I can save my Honchkrow for later, I'm going to switch it out and hopefully be able to pass a Wish Off to it. And here he goes for the Facade, and oh my god, that did way too much to my max defense Rotom Bold Nature, and luckily I will be able to live the U-turn, which means next turn I can get off a Discharge, so anything he brings in, and he brings in Dust Bars, and since I do know that they like to go for Body Slam, I'm going to stay in and go for the Pain Split before he can hit me, because I need to be brought up to a good amount of HP where I want to switch out and possibly pass a Wish Off to it. And I'm going to go for the Pain Split, and since Dunsparce usually are max HP, I get a very good amount from that back. And unfortunately, he will get the 60% paralyzed with Body Slam, since he does have the ability Serene Grace. So now I'm going to switch out into my Wigglytuff, knowing he wants to go for the Headbutt, and I don't want to get Paraflinched to death. So yeah, this Headbutt's going to do way more than I wanted to, which has me thinking maybe he's max HP with max attack. And I'm going to stay in, knowing I can take Body Slam, and I'm going to go for the Wish since I do outspeed it. And I'm going to pass it off to my Rotom. And yeah, unfortunately he does get the Paralysis, and yeah, I do know it's 60%, but come on, there's still that 40% not to get it. But yeah, luckily he's going to go for the Body Slam again, I guess predicting me to switch out to my Uxie possibly. And now my Rotom will be brought up to around 98 HP, I want to say. And now I know he wants to go for the Headbutt, so I'm going to switch out into my Uxie, knowing I will be able to take that easily like a monster. And I'm going to go for the Thunder Wave, since I do know if he wants to go for Body Slam, and even if he does paralyze me, that means I will be able to outspeed him since he is also paralyzed. But he switched out into Haunter, which means, hey, a paralyzed Haunter is always a good Haunter for me. So now I can stay in and easily take advantage of this and set up my Light Screen, and next turn set up my Reflect. And here he's going to stay in, I guess, thinking I would switch out. That's why he went for the Sludge Bomb. But no, like I said, I'm going to abuse this and go for my dual screens. Here he goes for the Shadow Ball, and oh my god, I make the biggest misplay of this entire battle, guys. I should have gone for the freaking U-turn, and you will see how badly that ends up costing me later on. But luckily for me, he does get fully paralyzed, which means I will be able to get my Heal Ball off and unparalyze my Wigglytuff and my Rotom, which is really good for me. And here, since I do have my Reflect up, I know I can take anything he wants to throw at me, but I'm just going to go for the Protect, just to see what he wants to lock himself into. and be able to get some more leftovers. So next turn I'm gonna go for the wish, hoping I can live this Brave Bird, and oh my god, luckily I live with 7 HP, get off my wish. So next turn I can go for the protect and be brought up to well over half HP, but he is gonna go predict that, go back out into his Eradicate, which is kind of scary, but since I still do have my reflect up, I know I can possibly take a Facade and go for a Seismic Toss, hopefully bring it down to where Burn will be able to kill it off. So yeah guys, let's see how well that plays out to my advantage. And oh, luckily I lived the Facade, get the Seismic Toss off, and do I bring him down to where Burn will kill him off? Do I? Yes guys, oh my god, that little plan completely worked out for me as my light screen wears off, which really doesn't bother me. But since I do know I cannot take anything that Pidgeot wants to go for, I'm gonna go for the protect. One, scout out when he wants to lock himself into, and two, to get some leftovers recovery. But unfortunately I am gonna have to fodder something off, and I'm gonna decide to fodder off my Uxie, since it is possibly the most useless thing that I have right now. So I'm going to decide to switch into my Pincrow, knowing I do have the Sucker Punch, but he is going to predict that and go into his Dunsparce, which really doesn't bother me since I will be able to Brave Bird that Dunsparce and get rid of it, because if he manages to paralyze my whole team, I'm pretty much screwed, guys. So yeah, unfortunately I have to fodder off my Honchkrow to get rid of his Dunsparce, which really doesn't bother me since I know I can possibly work around that with the rest of my team. So I thought that it would go back out into his Pidgeot, but he actually goes out into Delibird, and Ice Beam completely caught me off guard, because Delibird are usually physical attackers, but I will be able to easily take that thing out with a Stab Discharge. And props to Plonkerboy for using a Delibird, something you never ever see, guys, at all. But yeah, anyways, I do know I can outspeed Haunter, and I'm gonna go for the Discharge, and this does not do as much as I hoped it would. And he actually told me that this Haunter was Eviolite, so that means it's a bulky Haunter, which is pretty unique in itself, actually. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to go for a Wish, which I probably should have gone for the Protect and hoped to live the Sludge Bomb next turn, but you know what, it's fine, since I will be able to pass the Wish off to my Muck. I can go for the Substitute, get the Wish to be brought up to full HP, and here, shockingly, he actually ends up breaking my Substitute, since I do have a heavy amount of special defense EVs and a very good amount of HP EVs onto my Muck, and I'm gonna go for my Poison Jab, since it is the only attack I have to hit it, and I'm taking those Shadow Balls pretty well, so I'm gonna switch out into my Manectric, knowing I can live one since he is bulky, but unfortunately he ends up getting a crit, which completely mattered, because I would have been able to outspeed Haunter, gone for the Thunderbolt, and if his Pidgeot had been Scarfed, he would have killed me off. I would have been able to bring in my Muck and gone for the Poison Jab and possibly kill him off. So this means I have to work around that crit now, and I'm going to keep going for the Substitute, hoping that he gets paralyzed, and I'm going to go for the Poison Jab, and it looks to be like a 2 or 3 hit KO depending on min-max damage. And he did get paralyzed that turn, and I'm going to go for the Substitute, hoping he gets paralyzed again, which luckily for me he does. And here, guys, oh my god, this is where not going for the U-turn severely cost me. He lives with like 1 HP, breaks my sub, so now I only have 2 more chances of him getting paralyzed, so I can possibly end up winning this battle. So let's see how that turns out, guys. Chance 1 right out the window. He does not get paralyzed. So now I have one last chance to possibly pull out a victory. And does he get paralyzed? No, he does not get paralyzed. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go for the Poison Jab this turn, which means next turn, a Pidgeot can come in and just easily rape my Muck. So yeah, guys, this will actually turn out to be a 1-0 loss for me, but nonetheless, it was a very fun game, plonkerboy900. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the battle and the narration, feel free to click the like button, and also could you please leave some feedback on what you guys think I can improve on. And if you want to check out my channel and want to see more of me, feel free to click that subscribe button. But yeah, guys, with that, I am 6ftHax, and I am out of here, PokeMoshPitBeta. Later.